What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Robeisy Ramirez versus Satoshi Shimizu. And this is going to be a 12-rounder for the WBO Featherweight World Championship. And this fight is going to be Tuesday, July 25th from the Ariake Arena in Tokyo, Japan. And this fight is going to be broadcasted on ESPN+. And to get both fighters' resumes, Robeisy Ramirez, fighting out of Cuba, holds a record of 12 wins, 1 defeat, with 7 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the current reigning WBO Featherweight Champion of the world, and he's also a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and he's also ranked number 6 by BoxRec in the Featherweight division. And to list his one and only defeat, it unexpectedly came in his first fight, his pro debut, when he took on relatively unknown Adan Gonzalez. He lost by split decision and got dropped in a massive upset. Later in 2020, he did rematch Adan Gonzalez and defeated him easily by unanimous decision. And to list some of his other victories of his career, mainly his best ones, he has defeated Abraham Nova by brutal knockout in the 5th round. He's also got a TKO win over Jose Matias Romero, and he's also got a unanimous decision victory, a clear unanimous decision victory over former champion Isaac Dogbe to win the vacant WBO world title. But to get his opponent's resume, Satoshi Shimizu, fighting out of Japan, holds a record of 11 wins, 1 loss, with 10 of his 11 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked number 19 by BoxRec in the featherweight division, and he's also an Olympian, former Olympian, fighting in the 2012 Olympic Games. And he's also ranked number 12 by the WBO, which is why he did get this world title shot. And to list his one and only defeat, he's lost to Filipino fighter Joe Noine by TKO in the 6th round. And to list some of his best wins, he has defeated Musashi Mori by unanimous decision, and he's got a technical knockout victory over Kayohei Tonomoto. So in my opinion, this fight is just a very solid, nice, simple world title defense for Robeisy Ramirez, and it shouldn't be anything else besides that. I think Ramirez, obviously on paper and just seeing him fight in the ring, is at a higher level than Shimizu. I know they both have a very similar record, 12 wins and 11 wins, both with 1 loss. But the thing is, for Ramirez, I don't know how he lost his pro debut, especially to a guy like Gonzalez. But, in his last couple of fights, he's looked phenomenal. He's really looked like that 2-time Olympic gold medalist and highly touted fighter that he is in his past couple of fights. He looked dominant and phenomenal against Nova. I thought that Abraham Nova fight was going to be kind of competitive, but it really wasn't. And then he looked very solid against Romero, and against Isaac Dogbe, he looked very good. And he made Dogbe have very limited success in that fight and won very clear, 9-3, 10-2 against a guy like Dogbe, who's a former champion himself. So, yeah, Ramirez, I think in this one, I know he's going over to Shimizu's home country of Japan, but I think that Ramirez here is just the much better skilled fighter. I know Shimizu is also a former Olympian, but the thing with Shimizu, his advantage is mainly his height. He's like 5'11" or 5'10", whilst Ramirez is, I think, 5'6", so he's got like a 5-inch height advantage, about like 5 or 6 inch height advantage, something like that. So for Shimizu, I think for him, he's going to have to stick out his long jab, because I've seen Satoshi Shimizu fight both on the outside, and I've seen him sort of come forward a bit and fight a mid-range. So I think that for a Shimizu in this fight, considering that he's not really the biggest name or anything like that, I don't think Ramirez is going to be so cautious in this one, even though Shimizu does have a high knockout ratio. I think Ramirez is going to be mainly taking control in this fight. I think he's probably going to be the one throwing the better, more eye-catching shots, being the one sort of, I don't really think he's going to be pressing Shimizu, totally walking him down, but I think he's going to be the one kind of making the openings, throwing the shots. But I think Shimizu is going to be trying to counter Ramirez, which I don't think will be smart, but I think that's what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and land his shots, but Ramirez just have pretty good defense. And I don't think that Shimizu is going to have much, or I don't think he's going to have a lot of success in this one. I really think that Ramirez is just better at fighting at a higher level. He's just got a much better skill set, I think so, with that Cuban boxing background. But for Shimizu, like I said before, he's got a very long stature, very long jab, very long right hand. So, for him, if he wants to win this fight, I would think that he's going to have to press on Ramirez and really put pressure on him, because that's like, I just think that that'll work much better for him, especially since Ramirez obviously is not as experienced as a lot of these guys out there. I know that they both have a similar experience level, but maybe pressing a guy like that in your home country, putting him on edge, could be the way to go. But I feel like he's going to try and fight sort of counter style, trying to be a bit at mid-range on the outside, but I think he's going to get picked apart if he's going to fight like that. So, I mean, obviously his best bet, I think, will be going forward, considering he has decent power as well, but I don't really think he's going to fight that way based on watching him and how he fights in the ring. So, just to break this fight down round by round, though, I really think the earlier rounds could be where Shimizu might have the most success. He might be catching Ramirez with some of these straight shots on the outside, and I think he might actually land some decent shots in those earlier rounds. I don't really think he's going to win necessarily any of those rounds. He might win one of them just based off of like it being a feel-out round, like maybe the first round, second round, something like that. But I think either way, I think if Shimizu has a little success, I think that Ramirez will really try and press the action and try and land the better shots and really try and take control, because I really think Ramirez has just got a better skill set in this one. And I think that even if Shimizu has a little bit of success, like I said before, Ramirez will just fire right back and take obviously control of whatever round it is, or really just assert himself. So I think that those first three rounds, it could be 29-28, most likely 30-27 in favor of Ramirez. Like I said before, I think Ramirez will be most likely fighting at like mid-range a bit. He might try and counter a bit if Shimizu does come forward, but I think that I think it'll be better for him and his style to sort of fight at mid-range a bit and try and use his defense, bob and weave a bit, use head movement, land good counters on Shimizu, and just break him down as the fight goes on. And I think by the start of like round 4, 5, and 6 is where Ramirez will really start to land his shots, start to find more openings. Shimizu will start getting a little bit more desperate, a little bit trying to throw more shots, trying to open him, and he'll start opening himself up. And I think that Ramirez will really start to land nice combinations to the body and to the head. And I think anywhere from, let's say the fight goes past 5 rounds, I think it'll probably be like 49-46 or 50-45 in favor of Ramirez. And I think anywhere from round 6 to rounds 10, like from those middle rounds all the way up to the start of the later rounds, I think that Ramirez is going to get Shimizu out of there. He might drop him multiple times, might stop him standing, might stop him in the corner, but I think that Ramirez is going to break him down as the rounds go on. And I think that especially from like round 6 to rounds 8, if the fight goes that long, I think Ramirez will really just start to be landing nice shots and really just catching Shimizu. And I think if it goes all the way up to like rounds 9 or 10, I think Ramirez will get the stoppage. But I think anywhere from those middle rounds, like round 6, 7, 8, or around 6 and 7, all the way up to like the start of the later rounds, like 8, 9, and 10, I could see Ramirez stopping Shimizu and defending his title. So if you did make it this far in the video, comment down below what your prediction is on this fight, and I would have really appreciated if you guys could obviously like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment, and especially check out some of my other videos and my prediction for the main event between Iowa Inoue and Stephen Fulton. So overall, I believe that Robeisy Ramirez will successfully defend his WBO Featherweight World title for the first time, as I think he will defeat Satoshi Shimizu by stoppage somewhere between the 6th round and the 10th round. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.